G'day, this is Henry. I'm Colin. We're going to talk about fitting the collars and making sure we don't get any rubbing sores on. There's a couple of key points to go through, which is just general dog hygiene. And that sort of the collar's burnt the dog's skin. It's a little bit of a myth. What it does come down to is the collars maybe being a little bit too tight and causing a rubbing sore. So this is Monty down here, is it, Jodie?
Yes.
Okay, when did you notice the issue occurred?
Just about 2 weeks ago.
So it was about 2 weeks ago. You've had them for quite a while though?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and you said you went away for a little while.
Yes, I went away for a week.
A week?
And because I didn't get to check them in that week that I was away, I
Yep.
had someone looking after the dogs, but
Yep.
they didn't check that. So when I came back, it was a little bit of
Alright.
irritation.
So look, no one's kind of like at fault with any of this. What can happen though is if the collars stay on a little bit too long, or you don't check them regularly and give the skin a bit of a rest, you can get a bit of an irritation. And once there's a little bit of rubbing sore, what we say to people, it's exactly the same as wearing a new pair of shoes. If you don't take them off and let the skin rest, etc., you're going to get a blister, and if you get a blister and you still have the shoes on, it's going to get septic very quickly. So there's a few things you need to do. Number one, make sure it's not too tight. Do exactly what Jodie was doing. Check the skin every day, take them off, give the dog's skin a rest. They say in the books, leave them on for no longer than 8 hours at a time. Look, you can go longer, folks, but common sense, common dog hygiene means check the skin where it's touching and make sure there's no irritation. So when you saw this, it was just a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, I have seen some really horrible photos of dogs where there's really bad irritation right the way across the dog's neck. What they call it is a necrosis, which is basically just infected dead skin on the dog's neck, and it does get very smelly. So some people will come home and they've had the collars for 2 weeks, give us a call, oh my God, we noticed this really bad smell, and we looked under the dog's neck and there was these really bad sores and we had to take him down the vet. And I've only heard this a few times since we give people our little training guide, but the issue is not that the collar has done any damage electronically, it's the issue has been more that they have tied the dog up, using the collar to tie the dog up and pulling the probes into the dog's skin. They've left the collar on and it's been far too tight, and it's rubbed a hole in the dog's neck, and then it's spread the infection all the way around the neck. It's a horrible thing to happen to a dog, looks very uncomfortable, but it doesn't have to happen if you check it every day and make sure it's not too firm. Now the biggest fallacy about these things is that in order to keep them in the right spot, come on mate, in order to keep them in the right spot so they get the vibration and give the dog that really accurate, consistent corrections, you're going to have to tighten it up. No. Make sure they're nice and loose so that when they move to the side of the neck, they actually fall back into the right spot. And you know what? Our little training guide's got a little tip for you on how to keep them in the right position. Because at the end of the day, Jodie, disagree with me if you will, but it comes down to consistency. If you can give little Monty enough, no, this is Henry, that's Monty. Look, in my opinion, one barking dog plus one barking dog equals 4 barking dogs, because you get this sort of increase in the chart of they're both egging each other on. So Jodie did the right thing, got a collar for both dogs. But it's getting back on track. It's about being consistent, having the collar in the right position to give them very consistent messages, so they may not need to use the collar. Now all of that's contained in a little training guide, but look, a couple of basic points on avoiding any sores on the dog's neck. Number one, get yourself some of these and clean the probes. Make sure there's none of that oil. Once a week, just give them a wipe. Make sure there's no oil around the probes. You can actually take the straps off our collars. You can throw them in the wash. Heck, you can even throw the collar in the wash with the box in the wash with the collar as well. When you fit it, make sure it's not too tight so it's moving around nicely. And there's one little trick in our training guide, folks, that teaches you how to help that from happening. But have a look at this. This is probably a little bit too tight, so I'm going to be adjusting this so that the 3 probes touching the skin are touching with no more pressure than you would put on your wrist to feel your pulse. All right, come on, mate. And yeah, look, that's it. It doesn't have to happen with these little rubbing sores. They're just a little irritation. It's not so much what comes out of the collars, because they all have safety cut-off features, and if you follow our training guide, the dog's not going to activate the collar unless it's really necessary and they've got the urge to bark. So I could rabbit on about this all day. Keep it nice and loose, check the skin every day, make sure there's no rubbing sores, give us a call if you've got any questions. Okay, we're going to have a private moment here now.